Sit down.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Backtrack Cinema. In this video, we will be reviewing Magnum Force, the sequel to Dirty Harry. So get some popcorn, get a drink, get comfy, and let's talk Magnum Force. A good man knows his limitations. Magnum Force was released in 1973, directed by Ted Post, and starring Clint Eastwood, Hal Holbrook, and David Soul. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Backtrack Cinema. My name is Jason, and this is where we talk movies of the past that you know and love. Alright guys, welcome to my review, and now we're doing the sequel to Dirty Harry, Magnum Force. And I just want to give a big thank you to you guys in the comments section on my last Dirty Harry review, calling me out on some stuff, keeping me on my toes. I love it. I said something along the lines of Harry Callahan killed the Scorpio killer in cold blood, and you guys called me out on that. It's actually not true because he did go for his gun. And the way you guys, just challenge me all the time, I just absolutely love it. You guys are like the best subscribers ever, the best followers. It's just been amazing. Sometimes when we review movies, my brain's scrambled with a lot of thoughts and everything like that. So you guys are right. You are right. I think at the end of the day, that situation was only going to be dealt with in one way: killing the Scorpio killer. But thank you very much, though, guys. That's awesome. That's awesome that you keep me on my toes like that. You make me think. I'm reading all your comments and all that stuff. So before we get going, I just wanted to thank you for that, and I'll kind of fix my thoughts and everything on the ranking when we rank all the Dirty Harry films. But is Magnum Force good? Is it an awesome sequel? Hell yeah, it is. This was an awesome, fun ride of a sequel, continuing Harry Callahan's story. Is this not one of the best action sequels that you've never seen? Godfather 2 was 74. French Connection was 1975. Jaws 2 was 1978. Rocky 2 was 79. As far as action sequels, this may be the first one. And it is awesome. It goes kind of bigger. You get a lot more stunts, a lot more action. I feel like we get to know Harry Callahan a lot more, but I still think the better performance is from the original Dirty Harry. Sometimes we don't need something thought-provoking. Sometimes we just want to see a charismatic character doing what he does, taking out the bad guys, just a nice, good cop action thriller, spending time with Harry Callahan, and the man has got swagger in this. He's funny in this. He's tough as nails again. There's this one scene, man, where he's getting all stitched up on the forehead, and they're like, do you want like Novocaine or something for the pain, something like that. And he just, no.
You sure you don't want a local for this, Harry? Takes about 7 stitches.
No thanks.
Okay.
He's tough, man, tough. Dirty Harry Callahan is on the trail of vigilante police officers who are not above going beyond the law to kill the city's criminals. So we find Harry Callahan on stakeout now. He's on loan to stakeout, not on homicide anymore. But when these vigilante cops are starting to kill all these mafia and organized crime people all over the city, Clint Eastwood starts sticking his nose into things, and he wants to investigate this because this is a kind of job for him. This would be a job for him, knowing his reputation, how he's known to use brute force, go outside the law a bit. So this is his kind of case. And we see a natural progression to the story as where we left off from the last movie. And now Harry's got to catch these vigilante cops who've had enough. Every time they bust people, these criminals get off on these technicalities. So they decide to take the law into their own hands. And they think Harry would understand that. But the thing with Harry Callahan, he's not a vigilante. He will still uphold the law. He may go outside the law a bit. With the first movie, you're dealing with a guy that was so crazy with the Scorpio killer that he was going to kill kids and everything. And this is something Harry had to stop. He wants justice to be served. Like, it's a good moment. He says, well, where does it end? You killed 10 people this week. Then who do you kill next week? Like, it will never end. Doing this and doing this and doing this and doing this and doing this until you're killing people for like misdemeanors. And it also forces this character to, when he looks at these vigilantes, these cops, it's like looking in a mirror. This is what he could have been. But he knows his number one duty is still to uphold the law, no matter how crazy he thinks the law is, until someone changes it, someone comes up with a better system, he still has to uphold the law. There's a few scenes I feel like we get to know Harry Callahan more. Not just the cop, but the person, where he's like at this lady's house and we find out that it's one of his friends who's a cop, ex-wife. And, you know, she starts hitting on Harry and stuff like that. But, you know, he's a friend of the family. He's a friend of this guy's wife and everything like that. And I just feel like you just get to know him more as a person here. And there's a nice little moment, too, where he comes home to his apartment. And we know that he had a wife at one point. And she's died now. But he's got her picture beside his bed. And he just kind of like sits down. I think he's taking his watch off or something. And he kind of looks at the picture of his wife. Just little things like that. You don't need to say anything. We understand what he's thinking. You know what I mean? We can conjure it up. And there's some great funny moments. You know, he's got this swagger to him. He comes home and there's this great moment between him and his neighbor where she sees Harry and she's just like, what's a girl got to do to sleep with a man like you? And Clint is just so taken by it. And then he does this blink twice. He goes, and he puts a smirk on his face. He's like, try knocking on the door. Harry Callahan, man. The women love him too.
What does a girl have to do to go to bed with you?
Try knocking on the door?
Great moment, though. Great moment between those two. Now, we get a big twist here. It's supposed to be a twist. I'm sure it was a twist back then. Actually, I didn't see this coming. I'm probably one of the few people who didn't. But his lieutenant is the one leading this vigilante cop squadron, if you will. The last person you think who would lead a bunch of rogue cops. But I'm sure it was a surprise back then. But a lot of people would see this coming now. I didn't. I think I was just too into the movie. I just didn't see it. But it didn't surprise me either. Like, super surprised me. Like, oh, I can't believe it was him. The lieutenant in his department was the head of these vigilante cops. But I also love how Harry's a step ahead of everyone and a step ahead of these cops, where they're at a shooting gallery, like a shooting competition that Harry wins every year. And he's going against this guy, Davis, who's this vigilante cop who's taking all these criminals out in the city. Harry's doing this shooting competition, you know, when the boards spring up and they're either good guys or they're bad guys. And he ends up shooting a cop. And he does that on purpose. It's a great moment because I just love how Harry's sending them that message, like, I'm on to you guys. You don't got one of me. I know who you guys are doing this. And I'm going to get you because I'm Dirty Harry Callahan. Action in this movie, guys. The action is fantastic in this. For its time, this thing is really fast-paced. I don't find it dulls down a bit. You get these two really cool car chases. One's a car chase, one's he's on a motorbike, like a motorcycle. And you know, the aesthetic, you know, the setting of San Francisco, going through all these crooked streets, going over the hills, seeing the cars jump out. Awesome. You know, one thing about my channel here, I wanted to talk a lot of old movies because I just miss the old cars going up, screeching up and down the roads, real smoke coming off the tires, the engine's roaring, you know, things popping off the car, no CGI stuff, no CGI mud and dirt and smoke. It's all real. Everything's organic, and it feels like you're just really in the car with Harry. It feels like you're really seeing these people drive these vehicles and everything like that. I just love that. I just love the stunt work in this. And you get really, like I said, two really good car chases that are really good, and two really good shootouts, especially the one in the convenience store. It is shot really well. Whoever the cinematographer was did an excellent job. There's a moment in the convenience store, you know, where his partner's undercover, and it's like a stick up. And when the guy's got a double barrel shotgun down on his partner, they shoot down like this. So you see a POV of what the character's looking at this gun being pointed at him. Great way of adding tension before the shootout. And when the shootout happens, they do this camera, the panning left to right. And the bad guys are at one end, Harry's at the other, and the bullets are flying. It's just a great shootout. Really nice paced, really well shot. Great stuff. And another shootout at the warehouse that's really good too. So you get some really nice action in this movie. Like I said, this is the best action sequel you've never seen. And there's a bomb sequence where they tried to blow up Harry, and there's actually a lot of tension here. And this is where his partner ends up dying. His partner opens up his mailbox and the bomb goes off and kills him. But there's a lot of tension here. You know the partner's going to die. Like, you know it's going to... But they still do a good job with the tension of drawing it out and making you anticipate And I really appreciate that. So really good directing here by Ted Post. But yeah, guys, Magnum Force is an excellent action sequel. It gets bigger, it gets badder, but I like the natural progression of the story with the vigilante cops. It's just a great way to go considering where we were left at in the first movie. So definitely give Magnum Force a try. So I'm going to give Magnum Force a B+. This is a badass sequel. What about you guys? Comment down below. Let me know what you think of Magnum Force and the Dirty Harry franchise and everything about this movie. Let's get into the action and the stunts and the characters and what you really like about it. What are some of your favorite moments? I don't care. Whatever you guys want to talk about. Let's have a great discussion on Magnum Force. My name is Jason. You're watching Backtrack Cinema. I will see you on the next video, and I will see you in the movies, man. Cheers.